How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to True North Network. It's there's more of us here today. There's 5 of us here today. It's your 5 favorite white dudes, I guess. Episode 153. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the last couple episodes. I've been noticing lately the Spotify numbers have been up significantly more. So thank you. I guess I shouldn't say Spotify. Our audio listens are higher than usual, so thank you for that. I'm once again joined by Colton on my, on your guys' right. Brody's below me, and in the other corner, Andrew and Eric have joined once again. Welcome back, boys.
Thank you.
How's it going? How's everyone doing? We feeling it? You feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
Never.
Always
Not
feel
yet.
it.
Yeah, we did take a bit of a hiatus. It is currently, I'm going to date the video a bit, February 5th. So this will go up probably at the end of February or at the start of March. So, yeah, that's where we're at. We took a break, obviously. I had to collect myself in preparation for going back to school, and we were just busy with holidays and life. But yeah, we're back. Hopefully this episode goes up sooner than the last one. I thought we'd jump right in with some new releases because I know some bangers dropped recently. So, Colton, I know you want to talk about it. Just do it.
Fuck yeah! All right, Falling in Reverse's new song, "Watch the World Burn." Amazing fucking song, and the music video fucking adds like 10 times more to it. If you guys have not heard it, I suggest finishing this episode and then going to listen to that song, because yeah, it's a fucking banger. When I saw it drop, I messaged Brody. I'm like, "Did you see this?" And he just puts it all capitals. It's so good. And then I went and watched the video because it popped up on my TikTok. I'm like, wait, this is the video?
And they've performed it at every stop for Rockzilla so far. So we're gonna hear it live.
So I should just not watch it or listen to it till we go to Rockzilla.
You could.
You would be very surprised. I said to Brandon, that song takes so many different turns. It's awesome.
Thing is live audio quality is always shittier than
You know what?
So
maybe you listen to it first.
Isn't that like the opposite of what everybody says?
Like
What?
Well, it
Live audio
because
sounds-
there's like no like post production and stuff. So some people prefer like album sound to live sound. But I think Falling in Reverse, I'm pretty sure they have a decent live performance, so I'm not too concerned about that.
Yeah,
It's not either.
Quality of audio equipment at some concerts, and then also the venue, because the acoustics of the actual building or area that they're playing in plays a massive role.
Yeah.
So when Volbeat and Papa Roach, not Papa Roach, sorry, it was Godsmack.
Godsmack.
I'm stupid. When they were in town, they didn't sound that great in our space because it's shit.
Motionless in White and Ice Nine sounded really good in Calgary. Especially Ice Nine Kills. They did really good.
Unfortunately, Black Veil just
Black Veil just had audio issues.
Brody's still big sad about that.
That makes me fucking upset.
Yeah.
Because that's who you really wanted to see too.
Literally out of everyone, that's who I wanted to go see again. And it was so bad.
Yeah.
Maybe next time they're touring Canada.
Yeah.
What else? For me, New Medicine's new song dropped, and my god, that's a bop. Very catchy chorus. I've been waiting for more new music because I thought their album was supposed to come out last year, and it didn't. Sad. So hopefully it comes out soon. Yeah, that's a really good song that dropped. There's a few singles that have dropped, but nothing like super big for me. I've just been
Nightmare from Ashes to New. That was a really good one.
Yeah. I've been listening to a lot of Bad Omens. Their old albums.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. Bad Omens.
Anything else for new releases this week?
What did you think of the new Atreyu song?
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Atreyu is one of the more solid bands I listen to. I don't think they really have bad music, so.
No.
Yeah.
They're good.
Anything else, boys?
There's never anything new nowadays. It's actually like worth time looking at, like
Wow.
like
Fuck
I mean maybe in like from my experience, the gaming world, you're like, hell yeah, new Call of Duty, and they're like, yeah, they just copy and pasted everything, so there's no point.
No, okay.
Oh,
No, that's not
that was
quite
impressive.
it. Every time it's a new Call of Duty and they're like ray tracing,
Guys,
it's got even more ray tracing.
nobody runs our game at max settings who actually matters, so let's add a feature that no one will use unless you're playing campaign, and it doesn't work great. It's not optimized. We've copy and pasted everything from our old game, and we're going to upcharge $10 extra now because of inflation, even though that affects nothing.
Eric, you sound like you really love the new Call of Duty game.
This is not just Call of Duty that has been affected by this. I'm tangenting way off of the original topic, but
there was no topic yet, Eric.
We haven't even gotten to it.
New releases. This is not new releases. This is just me complaining like a fucking Twitter bitch. So
strap in, boys.
There's
hashtag cancel Netflix. Hashtag cancel Call of Duty. Hashtag
Netflix.
social justice.
Oh my god!
Are we going to talk about this whole Netflix thing and then back it
should
down?
We'll save that for later.
Good.
Yeah, we'll cock that back and save it for later. Maybe it'll go in a little short episode of its own.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I could go on for an hour on that.
Oh, I could do one episode devoted strictly to how fucking stupid Netflix is.
Yep. But we'll save that for later. Not Netflix. HBO Max, obviously killing it with the new Last of Us episode that aired last week. It was 1 hour and 15, but they had about 2 hours worth of footage that they could have used. Yeah, the episode was supposed to be a lot longer. It was, again, phenomenal. It fleshed out one of the characters that I kind of wished had more of a backstory, so that was cool. It introduced, basically stash houses that Joel could go to and stash weapons that didn't have ammo or supplies, whatever, which I think would have made a great addition to the game. So, maybe Naughty Dog will take that and put it in a new game, possibly. Without getting into too many details, if people haven't watched it, it's basically about Frank, who was in the first, half of the game. You met him to get a truck in order to get further along in the game. But, yeah, they just gave him a way better backstory, and honestly, they did change a few things that were kind of iffy, but I liked them. I don't know if everyone felt that way. But unfortunately, some bigots online decided to go review bomb it 1 star because the whole episode was about a gay couple, and I'm like, fucking get over it. Good lord. It was a good episode. It's a good show. You don't need to review bomb because you're a pussy.
It's 2023. That doesn't exist.
Yeah.
If it doesn't abide to everybody's viewpoints on everything, review bomb. Fuck it. Yep. Downvote. Put that shit on Reddit and downvote the snot out of it. Yeah. Unless it's shit talking about the whole thing.
I mean, it's still funny because it's still rated so high. I think it was at 9 stars instead of 9.4 or whatever. So in actuality, it didn't really matter that much, but it was still kind of disappointing to see people are that fucking, sensitive about it.
Mm-hmm.
In more local news, in Calgary, Karen's Diner is apparently opening as a permanent location. For those of you who don't know, it's basically a place you can go to if you have a humiliation kink because they just make fun of you and bully you.
There you go. I was like, it's not just making. There is so much more to that. I watched a clip where they were singing "Happy Birthday" to a child, and it was "Happy Birthday, fuck you."
Yeah.
We go there for my birthday.
I need some
Yes.
context on this because I've never heard this place before in my
Yeah,
life.
it was a
Wait, you
pop-up. It was a pop-up
No.
shop thing initially. I think it was just a temporary diner experience. And you go there and they just treat you like shit. They're like, "Oh yeah, table for 4," and they like throw your menus at you and make you set your own table, and
Little
they just
you.
they just make fun of you the entire night. They give you like
I-
nicknames and throw
Yeah.
shit at
You-
you.
You need to give me the name of this because I just got my brother's bachelor party dinner set now. Like
Karen's
this, I'm going.
Diner.
Karen's Diner. It's literally
Karen's
called Karen's Diner.
Yeah.
But I'll
Perfect.
send you the clip I saw. Literally,
Yeah.
they're singing "Happy Birthday" to this little kid, and it's like "Happy Birthday, fuck you" all in her face, and you just see her just like.
I've seen like elderly people go there and they like nearly have a heart attack because they're like, "What the
Oh,
fuck
yeah.
is this? You need to respect me. I'm old."
I'm gonna tip them like 40 cents and watch them just go fucking off.
I
But
want to go now.
I'm gonna say
Feature episode for us boys going to Karen's Diner.
Oh my god.
that'd be awful.
that absolutely needs
the
to
reason
That
the reason,
does.
the reason I brought this up is because apparently some woman pre-ordered tickets to go to the diner, and I guess it got delayed, and somehow she started to get upcharged. So she went to the Karen's Diner or contacted a representative, and she basically said, "Can I speak to your manager?" And I just found it wholesomely ironic that a Karen complained
complained
about
about
Karen's
Karen's.
Diner, which is based around literally being disrespected, and she just made a big thing about it online.
It's amazing.
Not saying it wasn't justified, because if I got upcharged, I probably would be angry too. But I think,
Oh yeah.
spouting your mouth all over Twitter and Facebook probably wasn't the best use of your time.
I'd be terrified of doing that, like having myself go in there and complain about it because I feel like they're going to complain back, and then I'll start
Yeah.
punching waitresses in the face and shit, and then I'll get arrested for assault.
There'll just be an
Because I'll get-
escalation, and
I'll
then
get really
leads
mad.
to assault. Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's some controversy around that because obviously, like, what if something's raw or there's an actual issue? Like, are they gonna take you seriously, or are they gonna play into the fucking whole theme?
So I feel like if it's a serious issue, like something's raw or that, they will address it
Yeah,
because
They might blame you
health
for it,
protocol
but,
and that. But
Yeah.
they'll still address it. But
Yeah.
I don't think that they're gonna legitimately let you be in harm's way or have an issue.
I mean, I would hope not. That'd be a lot of liability. But
Oh yeah. But I definitely think they would still play into it. They'd be like,
Yeah.
"Well, it's your fault," but they still fix it.
Brody, your webcam's very blurry.
Is it? One sec.
Brody's still frozen for me.
I'm just
Why?
Who isn't frozen for you?
me.
Brandon.
That is me. That's better.
Okay, perfect.
And Brody's not frozen now.
But
Fuck yeah.
I thought I'd mention that because it's kind of local news and was kind of funny to me.
Yeah.
I also wanted to talk about this because, I mean, this obviously isn't going to go up for a while, but with everything with the Justin Roiland news, I kind of wanted to talk about, like, the whole idea that you're now guilty before you're proven innocent kind of thing. So it used to be, innocent till proven guilty. But now it just seems like as soon as someone's accused of something, there's a giant bandwagon that just, comes and absolutely slaughters them online and just attacks them before it's even proven. We saw this in the Johnny Depp case, obviously, last year. Not saying he's completely innocent. I'm sure he did some shitty things in that relationship whole thing. But, he was dropped from multiple projects, and his career was definitely backhalted. In the long run, I don't think it was that damaged, because now everyone loves him again, and he's got multi-million-dollar deals. But yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on that? Do you think that's an issue, that people are right away jumping on guilt rather than investigating? Because that's how I
they
feel.
don't look at the facts. They see, it's like what you said. It's a bandwagon, and everyone wants to fucking fit in, so they all jump on the bandwagon without actually doing their research or in this case investigating, and it's really damaging for some people. So Yeah, I 100% agree with you.
Here's the thing: there's no one to blame but society and the internet for this, because people are able to band together and absolutely destroy, assumptions, right? So
Yeah.
like, for companies to be able to go into full damage control, they have to do shit like this. They have to like say, okay, he's gone. Like, guys, he's gone. Chill, he's gone.
Mhm.
Like, don't worry, he's gone.
Yeah.
He may have been. There may have been alleged. What did he do? Assault charges or sexual assault or whatever the fuck it was.
I don't remember.
Johnny Depp, you're talking?
Oh, not Johnny Depp. Sorry, Justin Roiland.
Justin.
Sure.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
we're gonna get that in a little bit, but
Okay.
it first started as like felony domestic abuse charges.
Okay. In either
Okay.
sense, in both the Johnny Depp case and all that, because like Disney dropped Johnny Depp. That was a huge fucking contract, all because of this whole controversy and because he was getting the limelight. And that's society's
Yeah.
fault. That's everybody's fault. That's the internet's fault, because people are so quick to assume, and these whole masses are able to get together and be like, fucking Johnny Depp's a terrible person, and everyone's like, yeah, you're right, he is, and then it just fucking, it's like a snowball
Fucking
effect.
Yeah.
spiraled out of control from there.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't blame these companies for having to go into damage control, because with all the stock part, like market and shit, they could go bankrupt because of some
Yeah.
allegation of their actress or actor, whatever the fuck
Yeah.
No,
happened.
you're exactly right. They got to go into damage control, which it sucks because, like Brandon brought up, they're automatically just saying that, hey, he's guilty. And then people are losing their jobs.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's a ripple effect. It's not just Johnny Depp, got dropped. It's now they're halting production. Now they have to, find new actors, and they have to pay all these people who are out of work.
I think my
Like,
favorite thing was, sorry, not to cut you off, but my favorite thing about that whole situation is when they found him. I think they found him not guilty or whatever the ruling was, and
Mhm.
I think Disney fell in. They gave him like a $300 million deal to come back to the Pirates of the
Yeah,
Caribbean or whatever it was.
after he said that no money would
He
bring him
wouldn't
back.
Oh yeah, no, it was 301 million. Because he's like, I wouldn't
Yeah.
go back for $300 million, and so they did 301 million.
Yeah, exactly.
$300,000,001.
Yeah,
Can you imagine that? $300 million to play one role.
Yeah.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's insane. But you got to think, look at where that franchise went because of
let's
how he
spend
played that
3/4 of our
character.
budget on one actor.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Did he say no or yes to that?
I'm fairly
I
sure he's
wasn't
coming
paying
back.
I'm pretty sure he's back now. He did initially say no, but
Yeah.
I don't know though, because I know he did a hospital thing again in his Captain Jack Sparrow costume and character. But I heard he was back for the next Pirates movie. But
If he said no, he's delusional. There's absolutely no way someone would turn down $250 million
Yeah.
for a movie role.
Yeah.
Really do that movie and just retire.
Literally, the guy
Really?
the guy has aced the character for the past 5 movies or whatever the fuck they came out with. Why
Yeah.
the fuck
Yeah.
why wouldn't you do it? That's like going back to a job and getting paid 150 million times more. It's like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
you do the same
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Nobody would say no to that.
No.
No.
But yeah, I just feel like we have such a mob society, and Twitter's terrible for this, right? They jump on anyone to cancel them, and like news corporations are contributing too, because it's all about, oh, I'm gonna get the headline first. I don't care if the facts aren't actual, because I don't give a shit. As long as my fucking name's on the first edition of the story, that's all that matters, which I think is bullshit, because journalism used to be about doing research and reporting the facts and engaging your audience, and now it's just clickbait.
Whoever
Yeah.
can gossip more.
Yeah, literally. This
It's-
is the
it's
era
funny that you
TMZ
were-
should be number one.
It's funny that you were mentioning the be on the front page, because all I just thought about was before Watch the World Burns, that Ronnie wanted to be on every fucking article that he could. Which was
Yeah.
fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
That
man's a
was
genius.
funny.
He intentionally picks fights. This is going back to the what we were talking about earlier with the new releases, but
Yeah.
he is an A1 marketing genius, because he just picks fights with people like days before his song releases, and then everyone's talking about him, and then he gets millions of streams. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. He's a fucking genius.
I mean, he's another one that's cut. Oh, go ahead, Andrew.
Sorry, I have to go back. I googled it.
Hmm.
It doesn't look like it's 100% confirmed, like on paper, but it looks as if Johnny Depp is going to be playing Jack Sparrow again.
Probably, yeah.
I thought, because I think they scrapped the Margaret Robbie idea.
Oh, the female lead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Female equality. Anyways.
Jesus Christ. Anyways, back to what you were saying about the.
Well, he's another one that's kind of, had his fair share of controversy. He says some pretty dumb shit sometimes. I don't know if that's what he actually believes, because like I said, he does controversial shit to get talked about, but
Kanye?
he hasn't gone Kanye crazy yet. But I don't know. I'm not making excuses for him. I like his music, and I respect him as a musician. I respect him as a marketer because, like I said, it's genius. I do not agree with everything he says. I think sometimes he should just shut up. But, obviously at the end of the day, he is who he is, and he doesn't give a shit, and he's not going to apologize for it. So,
oh God, no!
Continue to get mad, haters, because he don't give a shit. He'll just kill you in a music video.
And you're literally just fueling and giving him more because it doesn't matter if it's good talk or bad talk. You're still talking about him. Yep. He still won.
Yep. So, fuck all the haters. But yeah, obviously what kind of sparked this was the Justin Roiland news. I'll walk everyone through what happened. I did some research for this one, and I don't know how much you guys know about it, so I'll just quickly do a rundown.
My notes here. The text that you read me?
Yeah, and then I'll go into the screenshots. So, He was charged with 2 counts of domestic violence. In August 2020, he was arrested and released on a $50,000 bond. October 2020, he pled not guilty to 1 felony count of domestic battery with corporal injury and 1 count of felony false imprisonment by menace, violence, fraud, and or deceit against a unknown party.
Oh shit.
January 16th, 2023, Squanch Games, which produced High on Life, received Roiland's resignation. January 24th, 2023, Adult Swim cut ties with Roiland, however, Rick and Morty will continue without him. January 25th, 2023, Hulu, who produces Solar Opposites, cut ties with co-creator Justin Roiland and will continue. Another project that was produced by Roiland, Koala Man, will continue, but also cut ties with him. That's still developing. And that
are these all alleged?
Well, no, what I basically just read were everyone that cut ties with him, but he was found. I'm pretty sure he was found guilty with the domestic violence charges.
Okay, but the other stuff is just allegations.
All the things he's been cut from, like all the Adult Swim, the Hulu, that's all happened.
Real.
That's fact.
Yeah.
It happened quite fast. I mean, the first one was 16th with Squanch Games, then the 24th, Adult Swim, and then the 25th, Hulu, and then shortly after that, Koala Man got cut ties with him as well.
Are you talking about the charges that have been laid against him?
That's what I was wondering. Are all those factual, or some of those just alleged?
Well, he's been charged with them. He's pled non-guilty. He still has to have his day in court, obviously, so he hasn't been found guilty of anything yet. But
okay.
But yeah, there's apparently this is like a thing with him. He's had other accusations against him. Obviously, everything we talk about today is hypothetical and alleged because I don't want to get sued by Justin Roiland. I have no money for you, Roiland, okay? And then, shortly following that, a Twitter user and she worked with Roiland on a Rick and Morty soundtrack. She's a musician. Her name's Allie Gertz or Gortz. I don't really know how to pronounce her last name. But she shared some inappropriate screenshots, and I thought I'd read some for you. I'm going to have to bleep the ever-living shit out of this because
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I've read this for basically everyone, other than I think Eric. So
Yes.
you're the only one that's
I
going to be
am.
surprised by this. So this is it looks like a Messenger or WhatsApp or Snap, or not Snapchat, but it looks like some DMs from this person. And he basically says, this is from Roiland. Sorry, I'm at the airport. It's insane in the membrane. What time is it there now? She responds 11:37, and he responds, "Oh, so late. It is so late, and me so Chinese." Into which she responds, "I have school tomorrow." "Oh, school tomorrow? Oh no." She says, "Fuck my life." He says, "You should just run away from home and get into sex slavery, you fucking stupid bitch." And then followed by, in brackets, JK. Yeah, that's my favorite. There's another one. There's another one telling someone, I think it's the same person, that once they turn 18, they should start cam whoring, which means he told a minor that they were a fucking stupid faggot bitch. Not that that's cool to call anyone, but really not cool to call a minor that. Also called her jailbait. What's wrong with you in that regard? You should grow older, you dumb bitch. Is it cool being jailbait? Does the FBI follow you around arresting all the men you sleep with? And there's a bunch of text conversations. I'm not going to read them because that's a little hard to prove. I could change my contact to Justin Roiland and have a DM leak conversation with him and pretend to be someone as well. But basically, there's a bunch of screenshots of people posting that they had inappropriate conversations with Roiland, and a lot of the times he's instigating it. But the reason I kind of want to bring that up is because as soon as those allegations surfaced, there was a bunch of people defending him. They were basically blaming the 16-year-old. They were like, the 16-year-old was egging them on, and I'm like, okay, if we're gonna talk what makes sense, you're gonna blame the minor whose brain hasn't even fully developed and probably doesn't know what they're doing is fucked up, or if they do, obviously they get a bit of leeway, not saying that she's completely innocent, but you're comparing that to a 30, 40-year-old man who should know better, and you're defending him? That's fucked up.
That's fucked.
So as someone who just heard those for the first time, I'm obviously desensitized because none of that shit bothers me at all. I mean, there was probably more there, but I can't count the amount of times I've told him to do the most vulgar shit in the world, and he's just like, okay.
See, I think the difference is you guys are friends, though, right? This was
That's
more so a business relationship because she basically worked for him producing music.
If that is the case, that is so wrong on so many levels.
If it was like his wife or something and they had the same sense of humor, whatever, then maybe there's some leeway there, or his best friend or something. But this was a business relationship with a minor, and you're having DMs with her. It was kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it is hard to tell if you.
And again, these are all alleged, so.
He could just allegedly have a really fucked up sense of humor, like the one that you read with the
creates.
JK. So, but still, you're in a business standpoint, and this is a minor.
It's a business standpoint. The minor thing is the biggest issue, I think, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The business relationship thing. I mean, look at how we talk at work, Brandon, right?
We're not supposed to.
We're not supposed to, but we have that relationship at work, right?
Yeah. Oh,
so I mean, our company would not approve of us talking that way, but we do.
It's the same in my mechanic shop.
And I don't think necessarily that it's that we don't know if that's the kind of relationship they had, and now that this stuff is coming out, this person's just posting it.
Well, and that's
that being
the thing.
said,
It's all circumstantial.
If she's under if she's underage, then that's an issue. However, that also could be an ongoing joke that they had. She could be of age, and he's just like, you look young, so you look younger than you are.
No, she actually was 16.
Is she was 16? Like they...
Yes.
Okay.
In the one that you read us first, her responses, they didn't seem like she was offended.
No, and that's the other thing is it
And
does seem
that's
like
why
she's playing into it.
I think she took it as a joke.
Yeah, which is why people are
like-
defending her.
Yeah.
Or not defending her, sorry, attacking her for
attacking her
him
because I wouldn't say egging on. I would just say she wasn't getting offended by it. She just was reading it, I guess, as a joke because maybe he had a history of doing this with her, like you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, this is all alleged. So, like, there's a lot of stuff at play that we don't know. So that's tough, just based off of those screenshots. Like, you have to put a lot of thought into it. If you're not, then yes. If you're just looking at it flat out, it looks like he's a shitty person. But as you keep, like me, you read this, and I keep thinking about it, and I'm like, okay, how did she respond?
Yeah.
And it's like, we don't have the rest of the street conversations.
Yeah.
It's like, there's a lot more to think about. So it's not just jumping on, but no one's doing that. They're just jumping on the bandwagon of he's a bad guy and that, or there are the people who are thinking about it who are defending him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, that's a tough one.
Yeah, and like the investigation's ongoing, so obviously they're going to completely vet those and see if they're real. They'll probably subpoena any records on his phone because that's where most of these conversations were taken. There are some people from his past, again, this is just a claim, that know him and say that this is kind of typical behavior and he's kind of always acted like this. Again, that's just everything we've mentioned is circumstantial because nothing has been done thus far. Well, not nothing, but nothing public has been done in the investigation so far. I'm
going to put my overall opinion out on it, though.
All right.
And that's, okay, first of all, talking to someone underage in the way that he did. And can we confirm that those, like, the text messages or whatever it was that he was sending her that were sexual, were those like to her? Like, can we confirm that was actually the same person that we were talking about in the beginning? Like, did she share all of those screenshots?
She shared them on Twitter and then deleted them because she thought she might face backlash from his legal team if she did that.
And that was like all of those?
All the ones I read seem to be from the same account.
Okay, but not 100% certain.
Well, they all have her profile picture, so it should be the same person.
Should be.
Yeah.
Someone could have edited those when they compiled everything.
And that's the thing. Who knows?
Like you said, all circumstantial.
Yeah. But so my thing is, going back to like the very first question you asked, is it bad that people jump on the bandwagon? Everything that I say, if I'm questioning something or if I am defending someone for their actions at this point in time, it's not necessarily because I actually, don't think that they're guilty or I think that what they did is okay. I think that, if he did do that, it's really shitty, but we don't know everything.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody should jump on the bandwagon necessarily and be like, oh yeah, he is for sure a shitty person. I also don't think anybody should necessarily be dropping and cutting ties with him, because if he's proven innocent of all of this and then they, do a deep dive like they did, with Johnny Depp, and they do a counter sue for defamation, and they find out that there was a pile of defamation or it was just an entire shitty situation altogether. Now these companies have gone and cut ties with the like main the guy who came up with all of this stuff, the main creator of all of these things, and they've burned that bridge. And so it's shitty for them, and it's shitty that these companies have enough power that they can just be like, oh, here's a pile of money, please come back, I'm sorry. When they were just so quick to like,
no consequence,
gone.
So how does that work since he is like the creator and co-creator of some of this stuff? Like this is his work that they just cut ties. Like doesn't he own the rights to some of this stuff that like they couldn't
when
like
when the company gets a producer, like so when he came up with the idea of this, he was the, you know, if he was any part that he was taking in it, he's now just an employee because when they're public, like HBO is the publisher of that, so they own all of the actual rights to it.
So even though it came like it was his idea and they're his characters,
he's still an employee under the company that is putting out the content, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was technically just an employee of all those businesses that I mentioned, like Hulu and Adult Swim and stuff.
So that'd be like Matt Groening with the Simpsons, because he's
essentially, because what Fox and Disney own the Simpsons.
So they're the ones who have the rights, even though Groening is the one who created the characters. He kind of
Now, if they could have a contract where Matt Groening still owns the rights, that's something that could be written in a contract, although most publishers aren't going to accept that because they want all of the rights of everything. They want control.
Exactly. Because then they don't have to worry about if someone does decide to leave or gets fired.
Well, it's
changing the fucking stuff.
That's like Adult Swim. Rick and Morty, apparently Roiland hasn't had much creative power since like season 3, and they're opening season 7, and they've already been guaranteed, I think, season 7, 8, and maybe 9.
Holy shit.
So there'll be new seasons of that coming out regardless of Roiland either being acquitted or found guilty. So
wait, hold on. I just want to reflect on that. You said that he has not had much in terms of input and creativeness in the show since season 3 of Rick and Morty. Okay, so myself kind of dropped off the show after season 3 because it started getting very, I'm not say confusing, but it was just it wasn't as like fucked up humor anymore. It was still fucked up, which is leading me back to another thing. I want to talk about, do we really think the show can continue without Roiland behind it? Because the dark humor, like I don't see shows that are really.
I think it's just gonna go down. I think it'll just go downhill. Without him being there.
I'll just mention that I've seen. I don't know if I'm completely caught up in season 6, but season 4 and 5 there were some pretty fucked up things. They made an incest baby with Morty and his sister.
Oh yeah, and the 9/11 jokes they made and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a little bit, but I do agree it's kind of lost some of its edge. I mean,
the real test. Oh,
there's a reason it was so successful, and it's the fact that under Roiland basically running a large portion of it, it was fucked up, and it was a decent show until all the incels found it.
Because it was a fucked up version of Back to the Future. You had Doc Brown and Marty McFly, and then you had a fucked up version of Doc, which was Rick, and they just played off of that, and people loved it. I loved Rick and Morty for the longest time, and then I dropped off. But like what I was gonna say is, I think the real test will be is once since they did cut ties, when the next season comes out, if it's not fucked up, we know that he was the reason.
I just said that he hasn't had anything to do with it since like season 3. So we've already had 3 seasons without him.
Which
creativity.
Honestly, oh god, I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off. Anyway, it honestly gives me bad timing. It gives me a bit of hope for the show, but in the same breath, I think it's gonna fall off. They're gonna do their final seasons, and it's gonna be done.
Well,
because I don't know.
And the fact that he voices like half of the show, so they're gonna end up employing a bunch more people to do what he could do by himself, because there's some good impressionists out there, and obviously they are recasting, but I don't think they're gonna be as spot on as his, because he was the original. And they're just gonna end up spending more money on actors, so
this show won't go anywhere at this point. the reputation of lots of things in the world, it's kind of like, rust on a frame. Once it starts, you can't stop it, right?
Yeah.
It's really hard to stop it. So the reputation will always live with what
Mhm.
happened with Roiland for the rest of the show's history, and it's just not gonna last. I can't see it.
I mean, they're literally gonna be referenced as, former star or former voice actor who's been convicted of domestic violence, Rick and Morty, and it's those two are gonna be synonymous with each other. And anytime you talk about Rick and Morty, that's gonna hover over it like the plague.
Part of me hopes that they make fun of the whole situation in an episode of the show.
Yeah.
They probably will. Like,
I hope they do.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they will.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this is still developing. Hopefully none of it's good. I think there's more standing with the domestic violence charges, which is where this all started. I think there's a better chance of that being true. Until things are completely vetted and completely investigated to the extent that they need to do, there's no stance to be really had other than like wait until it develops and don't jump to his defense, because I don't think he should be attacked or defended right now. I think everyone just needs to chill the fuck out, sit back, and see where the investigation goes.
Yeah.
Which isn't done nearly enough in our society anymore.
Yeah. So, and on the company's side of things, the companies that cut ties with him, understandably, you want to protect your image and you want to see where things, go. So I don't think they should necessarily like cut ties, right? Maybe they don't want to have him involved until they figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
So they can do a temporary layoff, like a pile of companies did, during COVID.
Layoff, yeah.
Just you're temporarily laid off until we figure out what's going on.
Gets figured out. Yeah.
Well, I guess it's the same thing like when a cop is accused of misconduct, right? They get put on temporary leave while they do their investigation, and if they don't find anything, then he'll be reinstated.
Yeah. And sometimes they won't even do temporary leave. Sometimes they just are put, instead of being like a duty officer who's actually out doing stuff, they just get put in the office.
Yeah.
They're office.
Well, they get to keep their job,
and they're getting
guilty.
Yeah, and they're getting paid, so they they aren't getting ruining their lives preemptively, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
But
so
they are taking. Why isn't the same for actors and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I think a big part of that is because we all care way too much about celebrities, way more than we should.
And that's kind of going into the other topic I want to mention is the fact that it's just idolization of people who don't need to be idolized. I mean, these people are held at such high standards, and this is also kind of relevant right now. Like, look at Leonardo DiCaprio. He just got in a relationship with another 18-year-old. The man's 50. That's no longer dating younger. That's like a predator.
Yeah.
Alleged predator. Sorry, Leo. But like, we hold these people at such high standards that it doesn't even feel like it's being talked about nearly enough.
No.
Because they've got this kind of like golden halo around their head where they can do no wrong. And even when they do, it's like you talk about it for a week or two and then don't talk about it ever again.
No, exactly. Like a lot of things.
Well, and then these celebrities use their massive following and they hold it over companies' heads and stuff like that. Look at what was it, Billie Eilish and some fashion company made them like convince them to stop like using like real animal fur. And it's like, okay, well, that I don't know. I just don't think that a celebrity should have that power to be like, well, if you don't do what I want, then I'm gonna publicly shame you, and then all of my people will hate you.
Fucking business.
I mean, in legal standing, that sounds like extortion to me, but
not for a celebrity.
No.
Nope.
No.
For
celebrities. Yeah, there's so much. Yeah.
And then we're not talking about like the good things that celebrities do far enough. Mr. Beast recently made a video where he basically cured 1,000 people's blindness, and people are calling him like greedy and doing this for views and clout chasing. I'm like, 1,000 people can see now, and you're focused on
regardless
that.
if he was doing it for views or clout, he still cured 1,000 people's blindness.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Ultimately, yes. So he's doing it to help these people. At the same time, he wants to get views. He has made his video in such a way, and he's made a video about it in such a way so he does get views, so that he can take that money and go help other people. That is his entire thing that he wants to do with his channel. He reinvests it all back into the channel and into other people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I don't think he always spends money on other people.
He is like what Bruce Wayne should have been.
He said, like,
for good.
You know, he started out making a channel that just did stupid stuff.
Yeah.
And then he realized that he wanted to help others. So that's what he's funneled his channel into.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, he doesn't just have an English channel. He's pays people to redub in other languages. So he's got multiple channels where everybody is redubbed into, I think he's got Spanish, he's got a couple different languages that he does. That costs a lot of money too.
Yeah.
For him to pay actors or voice actors to dub stuff. So
speaking of Mr. Beast, like I just need to go back to remember me watching Mr. Beast's cringe Minecraft intros videos.
Yeah.
When he had like 20,000 subs, and I remember finding those and watching those before he was even known to the world.
Yeah.
And I kind of forgot that that's the same dude that's got more subscribers than PewDiePie now and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Also, congratulations, PewDiePie, on your baby.
You had a kid?
Yeah, she's pregnant, Marcia.
Yeah. But he's got it down to a science that he can make his videos
and pay his people and give away money.
Exactly.
I don't think there's a science. I just don't think he's greedy.
Yeah.
An honest man, finally.
I thought Justin Roiland was an honest man, and look at what happened. Fucking Christ. Now he's fucking virtually touching kids now, so.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't find out. Hopefully we don't find out that Mr. Beast was on Jeffrey Epstein's island in a few years.
Dude, next week a friggin' thing's gonna come out and be like, Mr. Beast fucking invested into ISIS and he's part of the problem, and like and he'll be like, well, it's all over. No, Mr. Beast funneled money to Russia for the Ukrainian war, and it'll be like, well, it's over. He's done.
Now it's gonna be like that fucking Cold Ones episode where they tell you not to watch Mr. Beast.
Yep. Do not watch Mr. Beast. Yeah, you guys have any other point? We're at 47 minutes, so I'm just going to wrap up this segment, and then we can kind of continue our conversation, and I'll put it in a separate thing. Anything else about, like, idolizing people or celebrities or anything else you want to touch on before we end?
Don't jump on the bandwagon. Prioritize people who actually matter to you in your lives. So, people who are going to make an actual physical difference to your life. So some might say that artists and singers and actors and stuff like that can make a difference, and they do a little bit. But if you're dying, they don't give a fuck. They do not care.
No.
So, look to those in your lives who matter and spend the time with them. Focus on them. I don't care about, like, that's the thing. A lot of people know actors by their names and stuff like that. And they know every role that they played in every movie. And they love every movie that certain actors have played in. And I don't know many actors' names. I don't know, I don't think I can name any actor where I can, list off every movie they've been in.
Just stop idolizing celebrities. Like,
yeah. I like certain characters that are played in certain movies, but by far the actors, the people who play those characters are not that person.
No.
And they may be good actors, but
it's like what you're saying. It's a role. They're acting. They're not like that 24/7.
Yeah.
And
like
so
they're human. They're people. They make errors. They're not these perfect people in these roles.
Yeah. So, don't jump on the bandwagon. and prioritize those who are actually important to you and not people on the internet.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's my points.
I don't give a fuck what people call me. I'm idolizing the fuck out of Margot Robbie because she has some great tits, man. Holy shit.
That's
She is
fair.
She is disturbingly hot. Like, it's not even funny.
I could see on Brandon's face, he's like, now I gotta cut this.
I'm not gonna cut it.
Don't
I'm
cut
leaving
that
in.
because everybody's going to
If you
agree with
want-
me.
Yeah. I'll put
I
it in.
only watched The Wolf of Wall Street to watch her fucking bare ass titties. That's all I watch it for now. I've seen that movie probably 100 times. For this sole
Eric
reason
just
of
plays
that.
it in slow mo.
Dude, like the rewind button on that scene is like my FBI agent's probably concerned for my health because he just sees me rewinding the same fucking scene on that show, and
Well, I
he's
mean,
like, man,
he's probably
he's
enjoying
probably
it too.
counting.
No, yeah, your FBI agent's like,
He's watching
once
it with you.
Right,
Yeah.
As it gets
like,
right past
why
that scene,
did
he's
you
like, hurry
work
up and hit the
with
back
Eric?
button. We need to restart this.
Yeah.
Dude, go back. Don't tell me you're done yet. I'm not. Come on, go back, please.
Yeah, let me hurry up.
The CIA agent that's watching the FBI agent that's watching Eric. I'll put her in the thumbnail for you, Eric. Don't worry.
Oh, it's gonna be just Margot Robbie with her tits and then just
Hey
Eric
man, views are
wide-eyed.
views. Tits get views. That's all I'm gonna say.
Tits get her views. God, dude. Oh my fucking Christ.
Oh my god.
But overall, we're all born in the same way. We all, die someday. So
We all bleed
Yeah.
red.
at the end of the day, we're all created equally, and we all should be treated equally. Unfortunately, our society is big
That is a-
gay.
Great way to end this episode. That's positive.
Big gay? Yes.
Big gay.
Big game.
Best way to end
The
the
end.
episode. Brody,
Fade to black.
what's your stance?
I totally agree with all of you. I feel like people are idolized way too much in society because, like, yeah, you can have like people are like, oh, this actor is my hero, or like this person's my hero, but taking that to a whole other platform is not only like boosts their ego, so they go out and they shit talk paparazzi, or they
Yeah,
like
you give
punch
up way
fans
too
in
much
the dick
power
if they
when you
want to.
idolize them.
Yeah, no, it's a pedestal that doesn't need to be there. Like, just take it and just push it over. They should be like all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who cares? They're on the big screen and make millions more dollars than we do.
Yeah.
We're the same.
Yeah. They're there
So-
for our entertainment.
So you said you agree with everybody's points, right?
Margot Robbie's tits. Yes, he
Yes.
agrees with that.
I didn't need to bring it up. I just had to
No,
make sure
I
that we're
I knew
all-
exactly what you were. Yeah, 100%.
Fantastic.
Both of those points are good. Yes. Well, we'll end her here, boys. Thank you guys
Beautiful.
so much for watching. Let us know what you guys think about the whole, Roiland situation. Whether you guys agree with us, whether you think we're idiots. Just bully us in the comments like we're at
We're
Karen's
idiots.
Diner.
It's still noticing us.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
No, we won't. Brandon will blast you on social media for
Yeah.
dissing us.
I'll just
If
call
you
you
might-
those.
pick a fight with us, just know Brandon is absolutely going to destroy you.
I'm gonna make
He has
fun
been
of you.
banned from Facebook how many times?
It's not hard to get banned from Facebook, to be valid.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
If anyone has any recommendations to where to see Margot Robbie's titties, I'd like to leave them in the comments so I can reference them for later. Thank you. I will leave
Reddit.
it on that. Holy shit, there's probably a sub dedicated to her tits. I'm looking at
yeah,
it
I
right
can
now.
definitely.
guarantee it.
Yeah. Margot Robbie's tits aside, thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. We do appreciate the support, and look
That was
forward
fast.
to new videos to come out. Go click the links down below if you're watching on YouTube, or go check out the links on our social medias as well. Thank you for watching and or listening, and we will catch you next time.
I love
Bye.
you.
Yeah.